Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are returning, we are so happy to have you back. For those of you who don't know, this is a combined channel between myself and my sister. We talk about all things life, our experiences, our adventures, our travels. We hope to motivate and inspire all of you. So if those sound interesting, stick around, check out some more videos. Today, we are going to talk about none other than this beautiful dog sitting next to me. This is my rescue dog. I rescued her just over a year ago, and we have changed each other's lives so much. So, today we are going to talk about 10 things that I put together about adopting a rescue pet. Specifically, these are more geared towards dogs just because I have a dog, not a cat or a bunny or any of those types of pets. So, we're going to talk mainly focused on dogs, but many of these can be applied to other pets. So, these are just 10 things that I want to share with you guys. 10 things either I had thought about going into this, I didn't think about going into this, what I learned, just all kinds of things like that. Have a kissy? Good girl. So, oh, no, I have doggy kisses. So let's get into those 10 things. As you can see, Guinan has left me. She left me all alone to film the rest of this video, but that's okay. So, number one. Do your research. Do your research on the shelters that you're looking at. Make sure they are good, reputable shelters. Do your research on the type of pet you're looking for. Are you looking for a puppy? Are you looking for a senior dog? Are you looking for an adult dog? Etc., etc., etc. Know the breeds that you're kind of leaning towards. Not saying that you have to go with those certain breeds, but if you know you want a Labrador mix, then know why you want that. Like, is it because they're good family dogs? Is it because they're pretty much have a calm temperament? Whatever it might be, do your research on that just so you have a solid foundation going in. The more you know beforehand, the easier it's going to make that process. So I did a lot of research before adopting my dog, and there were specific breeds I was looking at. But that being said, when you're adopting a rescue dog, you're not always going to know the breed. The shelter isn't always going to know the breed, and then you're not always going to know the breed. So don't just rely on that, but kind of know what you're looking for temperament-wise, potty training-wise, their basic commands, all of that. Just know where you want to be and what your commitment is for training. So 2. Take your time looking. I think it was about 2 to 3 months before I actually adopted Guinan from when I started looking. Some of those reasons were because I was finishing up school. So I was like still finishing school while I was looking, but during that time I found a lot of what I wasn't looking for and a lot of what I was. So just take your time looking. Don't feel like you have to rush into the very first dog or cat that you see. Number 3, the first pet is not always going to be the pet you're going to end up adopting. For me, I think she was the 4th or the 5th dog that I looked at. And I think she was actually like the 4th dog I put an application in on. When I found my baby girl, I had actually put an application in on another dog at the shelter at the same time. And I met them both, and the other dog was amazing, but we just weren't the right fit, and Guinan and I were. So that is how we came to be. So, that long story short, take your time, and the first pet is not always the right one for you. Alright, number 4, you are instantly going to know when it's right. Like I just said, I met another dog the same week as I met Guinan, and that dog was amazing, great, like, awesome dog, but we just weren't the right fit. Like, I could have been very happy with that dog, but we weren't the right fit, whereas me and my baby girl, Guinan, are. We instantly knew I was one of the first people besides her foster parents that she actually trusted and clicked with. She came her past, she was very scared and timid, shy, nervous with everything. So the fact that her and I actually meshed was a huge sign that, hey, this is meant to be. So yeah, you're gonna know when it's right, and I instantly knew with her when it was right. All right, 5. Once you do actually find your dog, you're gonna want to take it slow. Most rescue pets come from a very hard past. Now, if you're rescuing a puppy, then that's a different story, because most of the time the puppies were rescued within a couple days of birth, or the mother was rescued right before giving birth. So these puppies have never experienced what older dogs have. But if you are adopting a dog who's like 2, 3, 4, 5, and we know that they've had a hard past, you are gonna have to take it slow. It's not gonna happen overnight. For us, it took a lot of time and a lot of trust building. You know, her sitting next to me like she was at the beginning of the video, that took a long, long time to get to. Her and I bonded fairly quickly in terms of she would get excited to see me. That happened fairly quickly, but it also took a lot of time. Like, she learned fairly quickly that I was mom and I was not going to leave her. And I think we still struggle with some of those abandonment issues, but she has learned that I'm never going to leave her. So take it slow. It takes time. Rescue dogs are scared, nervous. I got pretty lucky with her, but everyone's got a different story with their rescue dog, and it takes time. Like, it takes a long time for these dogs to decompress and to actually start to feel safe again. All right. One of the biggest things I did not know was a thing when I adopted a rescue pet is foster to adopt programs, and these are absolutely amazing. The shelter that I rescued from actually does a foster to adopt with every single pet they adopt out. So typically their foster to adopt is you foster for 2 weeks, and then if you and your pet are clicking and you know it's going to work out, then you move forward with the adoption. Me and her, we fostered for 3 weeks just because she had to have some final medical checkups before I could actually adopt. But this shelter is amazing, and they're like, if after 2 weeks you're still not 100% sure, we'll do another week. So if you can find a shelter who is willing to do a foster to adopt program with you, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If I ever were to adopt another dog, the first thing I would do is go towards the same shelter that I got Guinan from. Know your activity level. Are you an extremely active person and you want an active dog to go on adventures with you? Or do you work a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and you want a very relaxed dog that you know one day you'll be able to leave at home and they will be happy with that? So knowing your activity level is really, really good. For me, it's kind of funny. Guinan and I have very similar personalities. We can be extremely active, go, 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 and we can be veg and watch Netflix all day. So it's very cool. Like, we have that same personality where we can do either. Now, that being said, she does need exercise. Like, we always do get some sort of exercise in, but some days it's a lot more intense than others, and we're both fine with that, and it's really awesome. All right, 8. Going off of that, know your responsibilities. Are you working a 9 to 5 where you are either going to be 1, having to take your dog to daycare, 2, hiring a dog walker, or 3, leaving your dog for a work day every day of the week? So know what your responsibility level is going to be when adopting a dog or a cat. Cats can be a little bit easier because they do use a litter box, whereas dogs you have to let outside. But animals get lonely when we leave them. So know what your responsibility level is in your life and how a pet is going to fit into that. Because once you adopt a pet, they are a huge responsibility for you. All right, number 9. We're almost done here, guys. Animals can be an amazing emotional support. We are probably going to do a whole nother video on the benefits of having an animal. Hopefully we'll do some videos on emotional support animals. Guinan is not an emotional support animal. I do not have a letter from my licensed practitioner saying that I need her as emotional support. And that is because I do not have to have that in order to live where I live. So if I wanted it, based off of my medical history, that could be a conversation I could have with my practitioners. And we could talk about, but that's not something that in my life I need, because where I live, I am allowed to have her. There's nothing saying this is a pet-free residence. So she's not legally an emotional support. I do not have a signed, documented letter that says that. And that's okay. I do have friends who do have the legal documentation. And when I say legal documentation, I do not mean you Googled emotional support license and paid $30 to $100 to get a little ID tag. Do not do that. Those are scams. Those are fake. No. Like, do not. Same thing for service dogs. That is not a service dog. That is you taking your pet and lying. So, little rant there. I just want to point that out. But I do hope to get the opinions of people who actually do have a legal emotional support. Maybe even I'll get to talk about service dogs sometime. That would be very cool. Animals are amazing emotional supports. She has helped me so much. She makes sure I stay active. She makes sure I get exercise. She's there to cuddle with and love on. And although she is not an emotional support or a service dog, she actually does preform interference tasks. When I have a panic attack, she will interfere with it to, once she's alerting to it, and then she's interfering because she's saying, Mom, hey, like, I'm here, snap out of it, you're okay, we'll make it through, if that makes sense. So by instinct, she does task, but she is by no means a service dog. The last and final thing, number 10, is you are going to have a forever friend and a bond of love that is so strong. I never knew how much a rescue animal could love you until I actually got one. So with that being said, I've grown up with dogs my whole life, and they have always loved me so, so much. But it's a different kind of love when you have a rescue animal. That love is different. It's hard to say, but these animals see that you have rescued them from a very bad situation, and you have given them this amazing, wonderful, loving life. And that's just something that you can't replace. And it's hard to explain unless you have a rescue pet. You won't know what I'm saying, because all animals love you. It's just a different feeling with a rescue pet. So I hope these 10 things either helped you, educated you, you just got to learn a little bit more about rescue dogs specifically. But that's what I've got for you guys today. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. So have an awesome day. Thank you for stopping by Simply Soul.